Table of contents. This table of contents is provisory, just to give you an idea about what you are going to find in my book. And it goes like this. Introduction. The process of separation from stupidity and its representatives. Chapter 1. About freedom. Being anchored versus being anchorless. Be smart, free and loose, not stupid, ill and anchored. Chapter 2. The difference between human interactions and the interactions from human being to God. How should a human being relate to God so she or he can be balanced, healthy, and walking on the ascending side of life? I'll make a parenthesis. By ascending, I mean the positive side of life, the creative side of life. I really had the hardest time in the world to find a proper notion, a proper, how to call it, a proper mixture of words to define exactly and precisely and heartily what I mean by the side of life, the ascending side of life, the plus side of life. And because it means so many things, and I really hope that while you're reading the book you will make your own definition and your own idea about exactly what I meant to say with the plus side of life, or the ascending side of life, the creative side of life. Chapter 3. The educational system and its impact over mankind. Chapter 4. The meaning of living on the descending side of life. Parenthesis again, descending side of life is the total opposite to what I call the ascending, the plus, the positive, the evolution side of life. Chapter 5. Love, energy, and survival. Love as a way of walking on the ascending side of life. Again, the same term. Chapter 6. How to walk on the ascending side of life. You're gonna find this chapter really interesting, I tell you. Then it comes a chapter, which is not exactly a chapter, is a part of the book, which will get you like inside our kitchen, my kitchen and my mother's kitchen, so to speak. Actually, this interlude, that's how we called it, an interlude, because we were thinking like, hey, are we gonna put this in the book, are we not gonna put this in the book? But we decided to put it because it's showing, like, it's giving you a more insight about who we are and why we came to this point, and about me and about my mom, and you'll get to know better two people which you are going to listen for, I hope, with interest and benefit for you for a couple of hours. So by listening to this interlude, you will come to know why we have come to this point and how we came to this point. And it's not a very happy piece of text, but it's quite how to say, it helps you understand a lot of things. So it comes an interlude which is called "What's the Stake of My Success, Mary?" And then it comes chapter 7, how to switch from negative to positive. The first step is the awareness, the second step is kicking yourself, The third is kicking yourself some more because you're beginning to understand. Chapter 8. The final exam. Death. The connection between death and time. Chapter 9. Let the chips fall where they may versus live your life purposefully. Why have God given the free will to humankind? How often people use their free will to do well to others and to benefit themselves. And the last one, we haven't called it a prologue or a finish, even if it has conclusions, advices, some last minute thoughts, we called it to be continued because I intend to write a second book which will be made of answers to all the questions. Of course, all the questions and answers that can fit into a book which is not going to be a couple thousand pages. But let's try to keep it below below 300. A book which contains the answers to the questions that the readers of the first book will send to me. I'm not interested in writing a book for the people can read and just sit there and think for a lifetime of what they've read. Because if it happens like that, I am of no use to you. I want you to benefit from my work. I want you to benefit from my work. I told you, I don't want you to do the mistakes that I did because I've seen how bad it is to pay for them. And I know maybe now it's a bit difficult to believe. Maybe you're thinking like, who are you? Why do you what are you talking about? You came here, what are you, missionary or something? No, I'm not a missionary. I'm just a regular human being. Just a regular human being who just happened to go through a horrible experience and who is lucky enough to be now in front of you because she had the power to understand where exactly she made the mistakes, and she had the power to ask the help from the proper source. And that source is God. No, I'm not talking about God like in religion. You will see, this is not a religious book. It's not something like that. The God that religion talks about is one thing, and the God that I am talking about is a different different task, a different matter. And you will see why I'm saying that. Maybe now it's difficult to understand, but while you listen, you will understand. So when I'm saying that what I'm interested in is you to have the maximum benefit of reading my book, I am true. I cannot afford to lie. Because after the experience I had, I cannot afford to lie. Not anymore. I can do something else with my time. Like I told you, I cannot even put my feet on the ground. And now I am lucky that I started to talk, because I haven't been able to talk for 4 years. And I'm totally addicted to my mom to take me in her arms and put me in the wheelchair and to wash me. If you get my point, I will not get into more details. I cannot even brush my teeth alone. So you can imagine that I can do other things with my time. But I don't. I wanted to write this book. I wanted to make this recording. This is very important for me to tell you what I'm telling you in this book. It's very important to me to send a message. And it's very important for me that you benefit. It's very important for me to improve your life with the information I give you. That's crucial for me. Because if this happens, that means I haven't gone through this whole hell for nothing. It means that all this experience had a purpose. Because once you had this kind of experience, you cannot just come back to life like I have and continue your life like nothing happened. Like, okay, I've been out for 4 years, I've been dead, I've been a living dead, God brought me back, wow, He made so many miracles with me, and now I'm gonna shut up, I'm not gonna tell anybody about it, I'm just gonna live my life from now on, and that's it. No way, I'm not gonna do that. I am going to tell the world what I've been through, and I'm going to tell what I've seen, what I was, and how the things are truly there, and why the people get sick, and what happens when you get sick, and what happens when you ask the help from the proper source, and when you are given that help, and how it feels to be made miracles with by the very source of miracles. The miracles are very true, and they happen every day, my dears. Every day. You just have to deserve them. You just have to get in touch with them. And I got in touch with them, and I'm getting in touch with them right now. The very thing that I can talk is a miracle. And I cannot tell you how deeply grateful I am for that. And I cannot tell you how eager I am to be grateful for being able to move my hands and to step on the ground. God, I cannot wait to express my my gratefulness for that. And it will happen, I know that. Sorry. So and the second book, I told you I want to write a second book with all the answers, the questions and answers that will come from the readers and the listeners, whether you read it on like an ebook or you listen to it as an audiobook. All your questions, I will write them down. We will write them down. For now, my mom will write them down because I cannot. And we are going to do our best to answer them in a way that will help you at the most. And I'm gonna tell you one more thing. One friend of mine, after I finished the brief of my book, I showed her the brief, and she told me, "Well, this looks good. I like it. It's great. It's not, She was excited about it, and she's a very honest person. So I said, "Hell, if you're excited about this, sure enough, the people will be excited about this." So she told me, "But how much you're gonna price this brief? Exactly, the brief is exactly what you listen to it now." I said, "I'm not gonna price it. There's no price for it." And she said, "How come? You're gonna give it for free? All this information? And you're gonna record it also? And you're gonna give it for free? You're gonna give this whole like 40 pages? I don't know how many there are. Maybe they're 40. I don't know. It's my mom knows. Mom, how many pages there's?" She doesn't listen to me. Oh, she's not okay. Never mind. Whatever. I think there are 40 pages something. 39, whatever. So she said, "You're gonna really give this away for free?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Oh my God, if you're giving this for free to the people, while they can get so much information, what are you going to ask in exchange?" I said, "Nothing. I just want them to do well, that's all. I just want to give all this information for free to reach as many people as possible, because maybe when my book is finished, maybe not all the people will afford can afford to spend the money on buying the book. Maybe they can, maybe they don't have it. So at least I can offer this brief, this information, so they already benefit, they already can have a good thing happening in their lives. And they can send me their questions, and I can put the answers to those questions in the next book, which, by the way, will be called Questions and Answers. Very creative, right? That's very creative. Bravo, Marie. Very creative. So that's what she asked me. Why do you give this for free? I'm giving it for free because I want as many people as possible to read it. And if your lives are improved even a tiny little bit after reading this brief, after listening to this recording, that means I haven't wasted my time. That means I have done something good, and I'm happy about it. I know it's difficult for you to understand this kind of attitude. I know. It's unusual. I know that. My mom, she has it too. This kind of attitude. Like, what do you mean you help just like that? Yeah, just like that. Because I told you, when you've been through hell, your whole perception changes. Your whole perception changes and you see nothing like you've seen before. Everything is different. And I really don't want other people to go through hell to be able to change their perceptions. It's better to learn from me than to learn from a painful process. It's better. I say, okay, some people they rather feel something happening to them. They rather kick their heads and asses, so to speak, so they can understand and they can wake up and they can see life in a different way. Well, this being my introduction, I really hope that you will enjoy and benefit.